Welcome back. I'm Ceol, and this is Slay the Spire. So, the last time we did this, I was pretty uncertain about the direction I wanted to take things, and I still mostly am. Although I have gotten some feedback from some of you about the previous episode, and I feel good. You know, basically, the feedback I've received so far is, I just gotta chill out, right? Someone pointed out to me how many times in a row I kept saying things about like how I might not be the greatest at this game. And I had no idea just how much I was doing this until it was pointed out to me. And I look back on that recording and I'm like, wow, I would not shut up about being bad at the game. So, it's funny what you notice about yourself doing this kind of thing. Anyway, I'm just gonna get right to it. Last time we were ironclad on Ascension 11. We had a good old-fashioned play bomb and try not to die run, and we died. But it was a good learning experience, I feel. I say that in the sense that I feel like I learned a bit about how to make a series like this. Just a little bit, I'll be honest. I didn't learn much, but it's a process, and I appreciate your guys's, well, viewership. I mean, to be truthful. It's wild to me that people will take an interest in such a thing. Alright, so you might be wondering why we only see two options here. I have been playing this game in between the previous recording and this recording, and when I had started up Slay the Spire to do this recording, I noticed that I was in the middle of a pre-existing run, and I hadn't made it to the Act 1 boss yet, and I'm just like, okay, well, you know, I'm not going to start the recording in the middle of a run, so I had to abandon that one, and because that one didn't reach the Act 1 boss yet, here we are. So, max HP plus 7, or enemies in your next 3 combats have 1 HP. Oh, I should mention, some other feedback I got is I should try to explain things about the game more for people who haven't played it before. I know some of you who might end up watching this already know a lot about this game and I don't need to explain, but I've also had some other people, you know who you are, who have yet to play a game, or have yet to play Slay the Spire, specifically. So, I will attempt to explain things as we go along. As I'm sure you might have gathered from the previous one if you saw it. If you don't already know, Slay the Spire is a roguelike deck builder, and there's those 4 different characters we saw in the main menu. Each one has different meta progression that are tracked separately called Ascension. And the higher you go in Ascension, the harder the game gets. So we're on Ascension 9 as Silent, and to get to higher Ascension levels, you need to win at your highest, and that'll unlock the next one. So, yeah, I'll do my best to explain other things as we go along. Health, money, potions. Up at the top here. Relics are stored here at the top underneath that. You start with a different one per character. Ring of the Snake is the one the Silent gets. At the start of each combat, we draw 2 additional cards, so our opening hand is bigger. Here's the map, the deck, and settings. Each character starts with different cards in their deck, so if you saw the previous one and only saw our Ironclad cards, here are the Silent cards. As you can see, strikes and defends, they might look different, but they're functionally the same. This is true for the other characters as well. But they also have a couple cards unique to each character in the opening deck for each of them, as well as the cards they can draft later on. For Silent, we get Survivor, gain 8 block baseline, and discard a card from our hand. So, for instance, there will be a couple things that'll interact with that, like the number of cards you discarded a turn, or when you discard a card during your turn, or this does this when you discard it, that kind of thing. It's also useful for discarding things like burns, or other status effects, or curses out of your hand. For instance, for example, there's a curse called Pain, where you take 1 damage every time you play a card while it's in your hand. So this can be used to get things like that out of your hand. Neutralize, it's a nice little 0 cost attack. Deals 3 damage, so not a lot compared to the 6 from Strike up here. And it applies 1 weak. Weakened creatures deal 25% less damage with attacks. So that's a good defensive option, and it does a little bit of damage too. Before I make a decision here, I'm going to check the map. We're going to see if we can get to... Okay, so here's... Oh yeah, here's the map. You have these unknown rooms. They could be anything, like events, they could be treasure, they could be just another fight. They could be a merchant. I think the only thing they can't be is an elite. So, or, you know, an act boss. Unless it's an event that has you fight an act boss. Which there is one like that in the game. Merchants are the shops. You spend gold to get items and cards and potions. Treasure have relics in them, which is these things up here that have different effects. Rests you can restore HP at, upgrade cards at, or you can get the red key from them, and keys I'll get into a little bit, but basically you need 3 of them to get to the very final boss of the game per run. So if we took the enemies in our first 3 combats have 1 HP, that would be this one here, and then we could hit just 4 rooms in a row here. And if we're real lucky, and like only one of these is a combat, and we go here, we could hit this elite for 1 HP. Which would be really nice, and that would set us up really well to go up through here and fight this guy right before the boss. This is the boss. I feel good about this path, so I think we're going to do that. That might have been a somewhat long-winded introduction, but you know, we got some expositing done, so hopefully for those of you watching who are not very familiar with this game, I do hope that would help in your understanding of what it is exactly I'm doing here. So we have Piercing Wail, Endless Agony, and Blade Dance. So 2 skills and an attack in the middle. This is really a good defensive option. All enemies lose 6 strength. So strength, if you have positive strength, your attacks deal 1 more damage per strength you have. And if you have negative strength, they deal 1 less. So what Piercing Wail does is you spend 1, and then all enemies deal 6 less damage per attack they make for that turn. And then it exhausts, which means you can't play it again for the rest of the combat, unless you have like a very specific... There's an Ironclad card that lets you bring back Exhume cards, but we're silent today, so we're not going to worry about that. Endless Agony also exhausts, but it makes a copy of itself whenever you draw it. So it's odd, right? Like, it's a 0 cost attack. It's 4, so you know it's not a ton of damage, but it doesn't cost any energy. But every time you draw it, you get a second one, and if you don't play all of them for whatever reason, you're just gonna keep getting a bunch more of these. And then Blade Dance. Blade Dance adds another 0 cost attack with exhaust called Shiv. Shivs are a specific mechanic to the silent. I mean, a lot of these are, because, you know, they're silent cards. But there is an archetype that you can go for. You can try to make a Shiv deck, where you get all these cards that like give you Shivs, make your Shivs stronger. And they have really good interactions with certain things about like playing a number of attacks in a turn. I'll go for Blade Dance. I think if we see some other Shiv options, it will be nice. Okay, so we got another combat here. So we got one more of these. Okay. Oh, here's one of those cards I was talking about where if you discard this, it has an effect. So if you discard this one, you draw 2 cards. So if we draw this in the same hand that we have a survivor, that could be pretty useful. I will take dodge and roll though. Gain 4 block, and then next turn gain 4 block. Block is how you take less damage from attacks. You play block, it prevents that much damage. Ooh, potions. Okay, power potion, swift potion, regen potion. Powers are effects that you have for the rest of the fight after playing them. They do a lot of different things, so I'll just explain the ones we see. Swift potion, draw 3 cards. Regen potion, gain regen. Regen is you heal. Actually, here, I'll just hover over it so you can read it. But also, I'll just explain. It heals you for the amount of regen you have that turn, and then it ticks down by 1. So it's like reverse poisoning, right? It's like the opposite of that. And I know, like, if you've played a video game before, I mean, that sounds like kind of, you know, duh, right? But potentially. But you know, it's a turn-based card game, so it's not quite, you know. All right, so we have slice, flechettes, and distraction. I'll go for slice here. Just a good 0 cost attack. Skill potion gives you a random skill card. They're non-attacks that have like they're usually block cards, and they also have like for instance the blade dance is a skill, right? So basically they're just non-attacks that have different effects. I think I'll keep the potions we have though. Okay, alright. We have the regen potion, so I don't feel too bad about taking this. Upgraded block is nice. Upgraded 0 cost slice, also nice. And I'll take this opportunity. Let's see, what was the upgrade for this again? Up to 6. And then 6 next turn. It's not bad. Not bad at all. I think I'll take the upgrade to neutralize. The 2 weak is nice. The stacks of weak determine how long it lasts. So each turn you have weak, it's reduced by 1. The effect itself doesn't stack, it's always 25%. I'm debating if we want to see this shop or if we want to fight this elite. Because we do want to hit this guy up here. The Flame Elite, it gives you the green key, which is another one of those keys. But they're stronger than regular elites. It wouldn't be bad to fight 2 elites if we felt like we could get away with it. You know what? Let's give it a shot. It's our good old buddy, Gremlin Knob. Good to see you, buddy. This is the guy that gains strength whenever you play skills, so he's really hard to block against. So I'm thinking he gains 2 strength per skill we play, and this blocks 8. Although he is weakened, yeah, okay. So we full block this attack, but we've given him 2 strength for all his upcoming attacks. I'll be honest. Not sure. Not sure. Let's see here. I don't want to take 27 to face. Gotta be honest. I don't want to. He gains 2 per time we block, so yeah, I'll just play it cool. I think we'll block that because I don't want to go him too much, but I also We went from 27 damage to 21 doing that. The more I look at that, the more I feel like it's probably not worth it. Let's see if we can't draw some more of our attacks. Ooh, okay, weakening him is really good here. And we'll defend plus to block with that extra upgraded 3 block we get from it. Okay. Slice being upgraded. Very nice for us here. So we just picked up this relic called Ceol Skull. Whenever you apply poison, apply an additional 1 poison. So, the way this works is that even if you apply, like, 5 poison, right? You don't add another 5. It's that single instance of, I applied 5 poison, here's 1 more. We also got a poison potion, which we use on the enemies. It'll apply 6. So with this Ceol Skull, this actually will apply 7. So this is nice. So with this relic, we can kind of see if we want to consider a poison plan for our deck. We're not totally hard committed to Shivs, since we only have just like 1 card to it. And you know, Blade Dance is just, it's fine. It's fine. I'll take Defect. Deflect, excuse me. We want some extra block, and having it cost 0 is nice. Okay, these guys. On death, they apply Vulnerable, which makes us take more damage. They'll either attack or spend their turn gaining strength, so somewhat spooky here. They're hitting us for 12, and we can block 9? Okay. I think... Don't think. Drink. Don't take that out of context. Okay, let's play our 0 costs. Consider our options. So this poison will deal, you see how his portion of his health bar is green? That's how much damage the poison will deal. So he's going to take 7 from poison. So if we hit this guy for 6, he'll die, but we'll also get the vulnerable, which will increase this guy's damage by 50% up to 9, which is what we're blocking. So I think it works out. Yeah. Okay. Alright. And now, because we're vulnerable, he's going to be dealing 9, but it's okay, we drew like almost our entire supply of defense in a single hand. Oh man, I gotta say, I'm having fun. I'm having fun with this. Ooh, yeah. We don't want to end this fight right away, in case we can get more value out of our regen, because once the combat ends, we stop getting this value from regen. So if we're able to prolong the inevitable here, that would be just fine. But yeah, making a series like this, recording videos, it's something I've been curious about for a while, and I know I just never really got into it, and hey, you know, I'm finally taking a crack at it. See how I do. I'm sure it's something that I'll get more comfortable doing as time goes on. I didn't even talk about those cards, I'm so sorry. I already forgot what the other 2 were. Hopefully they were on screen long enough for you to see them. I will explain. Here's Backflip, gain 5 block, draw 2 cards. So it's nice for cycling through our deck faster, so we can see certain cards again sooner. Card draw is nice. So we could fight another elite, at our 28 HP. Although, oh, I just noticed that. I saw Elite and then the 2 fires, and I'm like, ooh, fire value. But then I noticed that we would not be able to see our flaming buddy up here. I do like to try to get the keys as early as I can. And if we're going to fight another Elite, I want it to be the Flame Elite. Okay, so here's another example of one of the keys. This is the third key we've been talking about. So the red you get from doing an action at the rest. The green you get from fighting the Flame Elite. And this is the Sapphire key. So there's Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire keys. The way this works right here is we can pick one or the other. We can get this relic, or we can get the key. And the thing about the relics in this game is per run you will only see one of a particular relic. So if we don't get this here, we won't see it for the rest of this run. This gives us 1 strength at the start of each combat, just inherently. So all of our attacks will deal +1 damage. That is pretty valuable. We don't have like the super obvious strength synergies that Ironclad has, but you know, damage is damage. And if we have a bunch of 0 cost attacks, like Shiv's or like the Slice we picked up, all of them dealing +1 damage will add up immensely. It's pretty good value for free. So strength has nothing to do with poison, but so far we have this poison relic but no poison cards. So I'm not too worried about that consideration in this decision here. I think I will take it. We can always see about getting the key elsewhere. By elsewhere, I mean in other treasure chests we find. Those are where the Sapphire keys are found, by skipping relics found in chests. Okay, we got a merchant. Oh, so here's the thing. If we want to go more into the Shiv idea, this gives us basically Shiv exclusive strength. Shivs deal 4 damage. If you upgrade it, it goes to 6, and this is a power, so we play it, and then for the rest of the combat, we have this effect. This is pretty valuable in a Shiv deck. We also have Cloak and Dagger here, which is block and give us a Shiv. So I feel pretty good about that. Orrery. Let's see. We'd be paying 148 for basically a selection, or not a selection, it just adds them to our deck. So we will get 5 random cards. Oh, choose and add. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Sorry. I normally don't pick this, so I didn't know this off the top of my head. Choose and add 5 cards to your deck. Okay, so we don't have to take all 5. If we want to look for poison build, we could pick this up and see if it gives us any good poison cards, but it's a bit of a gamble, right? Let's see, this is what, 71 and this is 148? Yeah, so we would not be able to get both of these with the money we have. Okay. So I feel like right here is where we would need to make a decision. Do we want to lean into this Snecko Skull and see if this gives us any good poison options, or do we want to just take the Shiv cards that are right in front of us? This is more of a gamble. I feel like I just want to pick up the Shiv cards. They're here. They're queer. Get used to it. Etc. Alright. Remove a strike. Make the deck thinner. Easier to draw through. And let's get robbed right after we spend all our money. These guys, thievery. Every time we get attacked, even if we block the damage, we still lose that much gold. I'm not too worried. Not too worried at all. Good value. Good value out of Vajra. Vajra? I don't actually know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce this, but that's just how I say it. Up here. V-A... J-R-A. Yeah, not sure. Okay, here we go. I'll be able to show you how powers work. So you play a power, and you have this effect. This is accuracy. It's the one that... See, so this still only deals 10. But now, the Shiv will deal 9 instead of the 5 with the strength. 4 plus 1 plus 4. So, we can kill this man. We get our gold back that he stole. We get 15 more. A skill potion. And we get these. This would be really good if we had other poison options. The game is just teasing me at this point, man. I love a good poison build. This has exhaust. It doubles the enemy's poison. The upgrade is it triples it. If we had any poison cards at all, I would just pick Catalyst here. We have... I'm thinking of... We have a bunch of these defensive options already, but I'm still thinking about taking Leg Sweep. 2 weak and 11 block is a good way to not take damage from things. I gotta tell ya. Flying Knee is good. It does more damage than the strike, and we get energy next turn. So it's, you know, it's not just like, it's not a bad attack to have. But if we're gonna be doing Shivs, then what I'm gonna want to be playing is Shivs. So I'm not too concerned about this one. I wish we were. I wish we had poison cards. That would have been such a good pickup there. We'll take Leg Sweep. Okay. Okay, let's rest. Get some of our HP back. And head for this merchant, which we don't have any money for, but maybe... Ocean? Nah, okay, we can't do anything here, so I'm not going to worry about it. Alright. 49 out of 70? Sure. Sure. Let's do it. Okay. Lagavulin with Regenerate. Oh, the fun thing about this Regenerate is it's different from normal Regenerate. This Regenerate never goes away. So each turn, he just gets 3 HP back for the whole fight. Oh, and this is Metallicize. It's automatic block. This goes away once he wakes up, so he doesn't have that Metallicize the whole time. Thankfully. Although, there is a... Oh, okay, I should explain. Flame Elites have a random buff. This one, this time, was Regenerate. Sometimes it can also be Metallicize. So there is a time you could see Lagavulin as your Flame Elite, and it'll have like 4 Metallicize that it just keeps for the whole fight, in addition to the 8 it has while it's asleep. Looking at our opening hand here, I'm glad to see accuracy right away. We don't need to worry about playing it later. I think I will hit Neutralize. He doesn't wake up if you don't break his block. So, with 2 energy and only 1 more way to hit him, I think I'll apply that... wait. This week is only 2. By the time he wakes up and attacks us, it's not going to do anything. My mistake. My mistake there. Okay. We got some good value out of this turn, though. We got a bunch of our Shivs. Got Slice. We're feeling good. That's fine. That's fine right there. Okay. This is where something like Leg Sweep really comes in handy. And then we can Cloak and Dagger for some additional block and some additional damage. Cloak and Dagger, such good value. Like, it's a decent block card in its own right, and it gives you Shivs. And I mean, like, even if you're not doing a Shiv build, free 4 damage is still a free 4 damage, right? It's nice. We'll see if this lets us block any more damage. Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay. And we still get to hit him this turn as well. Not bad. Calculated gamble was discard your hand and draw that many cards, and it exhausts. The upgraded version doesn't exhaust. We'll play this and Cloak and Dagger for damage, and we can apply more weak so that he stays weak for his further turns. This right here, Siphon Soul, is about to take away that strength we got from Vajra and reduce our dexterity, which is like the block version of strength, by 1. And he does that every couple of turns. Just continuously weakens you so your numbers get smaller and smaller as the fight progresses. It can get real rough if you're not ready for it. Block some damage here and keep hitting him with shivs. Thank goodness for accuracy, because he can't affect that. I mean, if we start going negative strength, he will, but you know, we'd have to go pretty far into the negatives for our shivs to stop dealing damage. I apologize, you might be able to hear my dogs barking in the background. I am just sitting in my bedroom as I do this on my computer here. I don't have like a space specifically set up for this kind of thing, so you might hear some random noise in the background from time to time. I hope you enjoy. Alright, let me talk and play the video game at the same time. That's still something I've got to work on a little bit, don't I? I mean, whatever. It's my show, right? You guys are just here for the ride. Here he is, doing it to us again. See if I can't pull more damage off of backflip. Okay, we're good, we're good. We only got to deal 6 damage next turn, and he's donezo. Yep, okay, Blade Dance, we get there. And we did not take a whole lot of damage either. That went pretty well. Upgraded strikes, sure. Whetstone, upon pickup, upgrade 2 random attacks. We get our Emerald Key. And we finally see a poison card! Corpse Explosion, pay 2 to apply 6 poison, which is not the important part. The important part is when the enemy dies, deal damage equal to its max HP to all enemies. That's the important part. So we could pick this up even if we weren't trying to do poison, because the enemy just has to die. It doesn't have to die to the poison. So we put this on a thing, and we kill it, and then it's like we killed it to all the other things in the fight. So if there's like... So in the next act, we might see a fight that's 3 cultists, and they'll have something like 45 to 55 HP. If we put this on one of them and kill that one, it will deal... Well, it will basically kill the whole fight by killing one enemy. It's such a good card. Super high value. It basically lets you single target a fight that is normally where you want to kind of spread your damage out in an area to hit multiple targets. I will rest here. I want the HP coming up for this boss. Okay. Boss time. We'll see what we can get out of this power potion. Okay, okay. So, Snecko Skull makes Envenom... Whoops, I accidentally clicked on it. So that's what we're gonna do, I guess. With Snecko Skull, this will apply 2 poison instead of 1. What this does is that whenever we deal damage to him, and he doesn't block it, whenever we deal damage with attacks, it applies 1 poison. 2 with Snecko Skull. Since I accidentally clicked on it, that's what we're gonna do. We'll also get accuracy going. We'll dodge and roll for the block we get next turn, and then just deal what damage we can. And Snecko Skull giving us some pretty good value already. We're up to 4 poison. Just from those 2 attacks alone. And with our shivs, we're going to be applying a lot more. That's the idea anyway. Alright, let's block, keep weakened up, apply some extra poison, do some shiv damage. All that fun stuff. This is Hexaghost. You'll see he has these flames around him. He starts big, does that attack, gets small, gets big again later. And every time he gets big, that attack gets stronger. Basically. That's the simple version of this fight. Oh my gosh. Okay. Envenom with Snecko Skull is hilarious. Oh, that's really good value. I like it. Okay. I don't want to take 4 for free. It's not a lot of damage, but we're just going to skip Corpse Explosion. In a single target fight like this, it's just 2 for 6 poison. So I'm not too concerned about playing it. Okay. 4 times 2. Let's see what we get. Okay. Sure. Yeah, and this poison is just going to keep stacking up over time, so pretty good value out of that. We'll block here. The previous block from dodge and roll plus that deflect means we already blocked this attack, although we don't have any other attacks to play anyway, so it didn't amount to much, but you never know. Okay, I think I will neutralize and then apply... I know he's not attacking. We'll apply that weak, because this, at the end of our turn, take 2 damage. You know, it's only 2, but... And, oh, actually, Strike Plus is dealing 1 more damage than our Shivs. I should have played this instead of the Cloak and Dagger. I didn't think about it. We don't have enough accuracy to make this better than our Strike Plus. So we missed out on 1 damage here. But I'm not too concerned. He's got a little under half of his HP in poison right now, so I feel good about our odds here. And we're going to perfect block this turn. 2 from the burn, 6 times 2. Feeling good. We're almost there, boys. Almost there. Strike Plus, strike, and yeah. Alright, that's Hexaghost. Okay. Feeling good about this run so far. I feel like we're still at a point where we... Oh. Okay. Interesting pick here. I really like Alchemize. 1, obtain a random potion and exhaust. So you can only play it once per battle. The upgrade only reduces the cost to 0, which is nice. This basically... I mean, it does what it says on the tin. We get potions every fight that we can play this card. A lot of value. I really like it. Some potions are very powerful. Storm of Steel is what we would pick if we want to go for the Shiv build. What it does is it discards your entire hand and then adds a Shiv into your hand for each one discarded. This does not count itself. So if you're drawing 5 per turn and you play this, you're going to get 4 Shivs out of it. But if you have other card draw, it pairs well with that. The upgrade, I think it changes it to Shiv Plus, which does more damage, if I remember correctly. And then there's Corpse Explosion, which we already have one, and another one would mean that we can put it on 2 different enemies at once. So if there's like a couple of smaller enemies and then 1 larger enemy, you could Corpse Explosion 1, and then Corpse Explosion the 2 smaller ones in this example. And then when they explode, they'll each deal their max health to the bigger one, which is something we could do. Although we could also accomplish that if we redraw this. This just makes us more likely to draw into it sooner. If we take another one here. So... Gosh. This is a difficult choice. These are all pretty good picks. I feel slightly less inclined to take Corpse Explosion just because we already have one, but it still would not be a bad pickup here, I feel. I'll take Alchemize. It's a pretty non-committal pick that's still really good. Haha! Okay. This is the Shiv relic, basically. Attacks that cost 0 deal 4 additional damage. Now, this is a bit like accuracy because Shivs cost 0, but keep in mind, we also have things like neutralize and slice that this applies to. Which is, in my opinion, a nice bonus, but the main reason that you pick this up is if you're definitely going for a Shiv build. So I feel pretty good about that. I'll talk about these other ones, but I'm just going to let you know, I'm going to click on this one once we're done talking about the other ones. Spoiler alert. This will replace our starting ring. So this is Ring of the Snake. As you recall, at the start of each combat, draw 2 additional cards. This replaces that, and it's at the start of each turn, we draw 1 additional card. So we just draw more cards every turn in the fight. So this helps us cycle our deck a lot faster. Card draw is pretty valuable. This is a good relic. Slaver's Collar, during boss and elite combats, gain an extra energy. So that's 4th energy, but only for the big fights, elites and bosses and such. Not a bad pickup. And this is the part where I click on Wristblade. Act 2, the city. Alright. We have our Emerald Key, so if you may notice, no Flame Elites. Once you have an Emerald Key, no more Flame Elites will show up for the rest of the game. By virtue of that's where you get the Emerald Key, and we already got one. Rests still show up after you get a red key, and chests still show up after you get a blue key. The Emerald Key is the only one that works this way. And as a reminder, we need these keys to get to the final boss. Okay, so let's see how we want to approach this act. I'm thinking I want to hit as many rests as I can so that we can upgrade some cards and possibly get the Ruby Key in this act. That's kind of a nice path here, so let's see. There's these 2 fights, these 2 rooms. Oh, we start at the bottom and climb, obviously. But I kind of what I tend to do in my brain when I'm planning is I tend to backtrack, like, okay, I wanna go here, which means I gotta go here, here, and here, etc. Because I'm seeing these rests in a row. So if we start here, it is 3 combats right in a row, and then potentially 2 more if the game feels like doing that to us. So it's a bit of a rough start, but then we got a rest, another fight, rest, chest, rest, some more rooms. This does mean that we don't fight any elites unless we skip this rest and fight this elite. Elite combats are nice, you get relics for completing them. And skipping them entirely might not be the best thing to do. Let's see, let's consider our other options. We could take this route, which, depending on how these fights go, and if these are also fights, could make this elite really rough, and then we have a fight right after it, and then take the rest of the way up with only these 2 other fights, and then, you know, these rooms might be really nice to us, or they might not be. This is a segment of the game that I tend to spend a lot of time on, as you may notice as we continue here. I think it's a pretty important part, though, is planning your path, at least somewhat. Okay. This path is nice up to here, and then we get 2 elites right in a row. If this goes well, it'll go really well. And if it goes poorly, it'll go really poorly. So I'm not sure. Is there some kind of middle ground we can take? I suppose we can do this, and then fight this elite and skip this fire, and then take this path the rest of the way. perhaps. I am not certain. Okay. Either way, I've ruminated quite enough on this. We'll figure something out. I say, let's finally begin the act, shall we? Okay, leg sweep. Make him do 4 times 2. We get our accuracy up. We do miss the blade dance in our opening hand, but getting that accuracy out is nice. He's about to hex us. That's what this intent... I guess I should say. The things above these guys' heads shows what they're going to do. I'm sure you might have picked up on that, but I never actually said that out loud. This icon means he's going to do like a big debuff on us. And this guy specifically, the Chosen, will apply a thing called Hex, where when we play non-attack cards, we get statuses added to our deck for the fight. They're called Dazed, and they basically are just a dead draw, but they exhaust themselves at the end of your turn, so they don't stick around, but they can add up, and it can be somewhat vexing. There it is right there. Weak potion, not bad. That applies weak to the enemy. I think I'll just apply the poison. Why not? Oh, and here's a bit of anti-synergy here. So ethereal is what I was talking about when I said these get rid of themselves at the end of your turn. They exhaust at the end of your turn if they're in your hand. So if you survivor this, you don't have to discard one of your other cards, but it will not exhaust this, because it has to be in your hand at the end of turn to go away. So there is that to consider. And he's doing 18 to us. So I will get rid of this strike, because I really want to not float these dazeds willy-nilly. So we miss out on a little bit of value, but I think it was for the better. Oh, and right here, already we're getting into it. Oh boy, Chosen. And that right there is a prime example of why Dazed are bad. They're just totally dead draws that flood your deck. Oh boy. Don't deal that much damage to me, please. Through the Weaken Potion at him, reduce his damage output by 25%. I will block, let's see, 10 times 2. Gosh. I want to hit him, but if we play this, we don't take damage. Do I want to take 6 to deal 7? We will get another dazed if I block. That's full block. That's a lot of damage. I don't want to take that. I mean, 6 isn't, but, you know, it adds up, man. It really does. Strike. And we'll play it cool. If it wasn't for the Hex, I might have considered doing leg sweep to keep the weak up, or potentially dodge and roll for block this turn, but... Oh, we're good. Okay, we're good now. All good. Ghost in a Jar is a nice potion to have. It gives 1 intangible. Intangible, what it does is for each intangible you have, for that number of turns, any damage you take, and any HP loss, which there is a distinction, things can make you lose HP but not technically deal damage to you. For that turn in combat, it's all instances are reduced to 1. There is a particular enemy I'll give as an example where intangible is not so good. There's these birds that deal 1 times 6. That's 6 attacks that each deal 1. So they're doing 1 already. Intangible won't really help you with those. But Intangible is really good elsewhere in the game. I will take this. There's no reason not to. We don't have to go. We have the potion slots to fill it, but you know, it's really good is what I'm saying. I really like Intangible. There is a relic that'll give you Intangible. There is a silent card that gives you Intangible with a downside. Oh, and in our previous run, I accidentally clicked on that Council of Ghosts event that gave us the other source of Intangible, which was those apparitions. But that was last time. Piercing Whale Plus, pretty good. Slice is good value. We don't have a lot of ways to generate our own shivs, so this will just be something that'll deal more damage, just in general. Hopefully we see something like Infinite Blades. It's a power that gives us shivs each turn. I'll click on Piercing Whale. I think it's a good option. Okay, these clowns. Okay, here's a question for you. So, I got, there's a buddy of mine who, and this might seem a little bit out of the blue, but I was just reminded of it. There's a buddy of mine who can make a really good, like, clown honk noise just with his body. And I'm wondering, and some of you watching might know who that is, but I'm wondering how widespread a skill is that? You know, because like, I'll tell you, the first time I heard him make that noise, it was like, how the heck are you doing that with your body? How are you making that sound? It was a sound to behold. Oh! So here's an example of where a corpse explosion is going to come very much in handy. We can deal 2, or we can pay 2, rather, to deal 48 to this guy. Very nice. And they both die. Amazing. We get our gold back, we get 10 more. Slay the Spire, you gotta do it to me. Huh? They show us Noxious Fumes Plus, which is exactly the kind of thing we would be looking for with Snecko Skull. This applies 4 poison to all enemies every turn because of this thing. Or we can get another accuracy, which means our shivs will deal 8 damage when we play both, or if we can upgrade them, 12, because it'll be 6 plus 6 rather than 4 plus 4. This is already upgraded, and poison is pretty valuable. Oh man. We don't have very good shiv generation, so the accuracy is nice, but it's not as good as it could be, because we don't have a lot of ways to gain specifically shivs. I'll click on Noxious Fumes here. I think we'll splash a bit into poison. Okay. Alright. Let's visit this shop. Whew. Prismatic Shard. We saw this in the shop in the previous run. I never really went over what it does. Prismatic Shard, what this does is the cards we get after a combat, like the ones we just picked up, can be from any of the other characters. So we could see like some of Ironclad's cards, for instance, or Defects, or Watchers. The trouble with this is that it is totally random. I mean, it always is. But it can very much make your deck very confused, in the sense that you don't really have like a specific plan on how you're going to approach each combat. 'Cause you still only see 3 options to choose from. So, for instance, we could see defect cards that only have good interactions with like other defect cards or defect mechanics that we don't have. Say this shows us dual cast, which is evoke your next orb twice, which I'll get into that stuff in the defect episode. But then we have no orbs to evoke, right? That kind of thing, as an example off the top of my head. I'll just click on the other Noxious Fumes. And we'll remove another strike. And that will be what we do at this shop. It's done, it's dusted, and you can't tell me otherwise. I already did it. This is indeed my show. I don't want to take 8 times 3. So I could full block here. If well, full block as in spend all my energy on blocking, not necessarily block all the damage, unless we use this intangible, but okay. I think what I'll do, I'll save the intangible, I think. And we are just going to just block as best we can. Oh, I should explain. This guy has malleable. So whenever we hit him, he gains block automatically. And it goes up the more we hit him in a single turn. But then it goes back down afterwards. I will weaken him. We'll block. We'll play one of our Noxious Fumes, the unupgraded one we got from the shop just now. And we'll deal 7 to him. Still taking some damage here, but I mean the only HP you need is the last one, right? Okay, we got Alchemize. I'm gonna play this Power Potion. Ooh, Infinite Blades. Sorry, I didn't discuss the other two. They were Footwork and Caltrops, if I remember right. Footwork gives us Dexterity, makes our block better, and Caltrops gives us Thorns, where if they hit us, they take damage back. And then I clicked on Infinite Blades, where we get a Shiv at the start of each turn. We're getting there. We're getting there. Learning how to do this whole making videos thing. He is about to debuff the crap out of us. So now, weakened, 25% less damage dealt. Frail, 25% less block gained from cards. Luckily, this right here reduces his strength by 8. Now he's dealing 0 times 3, so we don't need to worry about being able to block that. If you're wondering why I'm accidentally clicking on things a lot, it's because in OBS I have a hotkey bound to use my microphone. In an effort to reduce the potential background noise, I have a push-to-talk key set up. And it's one of my mouse buttons, and the thing about Slay the Spire is that this mouse button is also, for some reason, able to be used for clicking on cards. If I figure out a better way to handle this situation, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, I'm just going to try to be careful. Let's play our 0 costs. Let us... What can we draw? Gosh. If I had used the Flex Potion... we still... Okay. This gives us 5 strength for just this turn. If we do that, we can just hit him. And the poison will take care of the rest. Although we have that strike. So we're good. We're good. Okay. Escape Plan will draw us a card for 0. And if we get a skill, it's some free block as well. So I feel good about that. Okay. This could give us a pretty good relic. But we have to spend a bunch of HP on doing so. HP that we don't really have to spend. I would love to show you what we could get from this, but it's really not a good idea in this instance, I feel. Let's get some HP. Alright, now let's remind ourselves that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer, but also where the heck we're going from here. So we have these rests, and then we have these rests. This rest then goes into these combats, whereas this rest does not. I will go left here. It's the bird I was talking about. He's buffing himself right away! He's gonna gain 1 strength off of that. Oh, flight. He takes half damage from attacks, but if we deal 3 separate attacks to him, he'll get stunned and fall and lose this, and then he's way less effective until he gets back up. Okay, how do I want to approach this? I think I will leg sweep and noxious fumes. We block this damage, give him weakened, and we'll start building poison on these guys. That's him hexing us. Okay, we can stun the bird. We can indeed stun the bird. So 1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attacks. Now he's on the ground, he'll take full damage, and actually we can just take care of him. He's done. Done and dusted. Okay, time to suffer. This is a non-attack. Yay, dazed. Okay. He is gonna deal 12. We can block 10 of it for taking a bunch more dazed, but what can you do? We're now gonna be applying 6 poison per turn to this man. Very nice. 31 coming at us. Gotta say, not as nice. I will actually use our intangible here for this one. And stack up more of that poison. Ouch! 1 damage. Good hand. Good hand game. Good job. We'll get the next turn block with dodge and roll. Okay, he's got a pretty high poison amount on him. If we can not draw, only block, that would be great. Okay, we're good. We're good. His whole health bar is green. He's 25 and he's going to take 27 from poison. So we don't need to worry about blocking this because he dies. And Tropic Brew is nice. Fill all your empty potion slots with random potions. This does also count the slot it takes up. So if we use these other 2 and then we use this, we'll get 3 new potions to replace it. I'll take Cloak and Dagger here. Here's where we decide if we want to fight an elite in this act at all. I feel fine about our damage output, but I'm not sure about not dying to this thing. Not sure. You may notice I paused the recording there for a moment. Had to deal with something real fast. Okay. As I was saying, I feel somewhat fearful about our hit points. I feel that this fight may cause them to approach and possibly reach 0. And I don't want to just end the run here. But on the other hand, I could throw for content. And we all know how much we love that. I would really like to face an elite. And I mean, like, we could go this path. If these fights go fine, the elite might not be so bad over here. We do see 2 fires beforehand. We'll see how we feel. I want to heal it at this one. See what we get from this. The boot. Whenever you would deal 4 or less unblocked attack damage, increase it to 5. I accidentally clicked on it again. It's good value. I was considering getting the key though. But yeah, so the way that works is even if, so let's say we're going to deal 5 damage to an enemy that's blocking 4, we will deal 5 damage to its health directly after that block, because we dealt 4 or less unblocked attack damage. So the boot, pretty good value. Not sure if I would have taken the key, but I guess it doesn't matter now. So let's see here. Do we want to take this? Oh, wait. I'm thinking about this here more than I need to, because we can... There's this... It branches here, so we can just go to this fire. That was my brain deciding that it didn't want to work very good for a moment there. Okay. I feel like more and more that poison is starting to be our main plan, simply because we have 2 of these things now. I might upgrade one of those. We have the Snecko Skull. We also have the Wrist Blade. We really could go either way, right? If we had like an Infinite Blades or more Blade Dances or something like that, I might lean a little more towards Shivs. But we have 2 Noxious Fumes. And with the Snecko Skull, we get a lot of value out of this. So I think we're going to go more into Poison. Now the trouble here is that we need to basically decide the rest of our pathing right here. Because if these fights don't go well and we decide we don't want to fight the elite, there's still these 2 combats to deal with anyway. I'm not certain. Yeah, I want to live to see the boss. Oh, we can spend 75 to remove a card from our deck. Which is fine, I will do this. Thank you, Cleric. And a Merchant at 4 gold. Thanks, buddy. At least you're not a combat. Snecko. Did we fight a Snecko? I feel like we fought a Snecko in the previous episode. I already forgot. It was a couple days ago for me. In case we didn't, or if... I'll just explain. He always starts with this. And what this is he's going to give us Confusion, which is the costs of our cards, whenever we draw them, are going to be randomized from 0 to 3. And that's just how this whole fight goes. So, I'm going to do this dodge and roll in case we can't block next turn, because all our blocks cost 3. So we get that 4 next turn just in case, because now he's just going to start hitting this. Yeah, okay. Okay, 0 cost accuracy. Alright. Okay. I do think Snecko's pretty cute, though. He's got a pretty mouth. See that mouth on him? Look at him. And I feel bad skipping Alchemize, but I'm just gonna not take damage here. Okay, we'll apply weak. We'll block. Get some Shiv action. I might as well, right? Not take damage. It's not really a better turn than that to play Piercing Wail. Okay. Oh, is this it? This is it. Okay. We're good. Thank you, Snecko. Not very difficult, that one. I'm happy to take another Alchemize. Okay, we are approaching the end of this act. Here's a good example of Corpse Explosion being pretty valuable. Although, it costing 2, I'm worried about taking a bunch of damage from this guy. We can block 10, which is most of that damage. Yeah. Yeah. I'm good with that. Okay. Not a very good hand we drew here. It's not bad, mind you, but, you know, not much to do there. I will say, at the time of recording, it's very early in the morning, at least for me it is. Good old... We're getting up to 9 a.m. almost. It's 8:45. I'm looking over at OBS and I'm realizing this episode is already over an hour, and we're not even done with the second act. I'm not sure how I want to do this going forward. I mean, Slay the Spire, the kind of game it is, you know, these runs are just gonna take this time, right? And like, I am going somewhat slower than I normally would because I'm, you know, I'm trying to kind of keep you guys in the loop here at the same time. Yes, what I'm saying is it's entirely your fault, but in all seriousness, I imagine that as I get more comfortable with the whole playing and commentating at the same time, this time frame of, you know, we're approaching the end of the second act after an entire hour, it might get a bit better. It might go a bit quicker as we go on here. Also, this guy is just going to deal a bunch of damage to us. I'll play the Swift Potion. Maybe we draw some more block. Okay. Oh, actually, that just kills him. Easy peasy. Bane hits twice if the enemy is poisoned. Dagger Spray hits all enemies, but we're going to be hitting all enemies with our poison anyway. I'll take Bane. The other one draws cards and discards a card. It's nice if you have a discard archetype you're going for. And it's also just not a bad card on its own, but I'll take the HP here. Okay, we have to get our next 2 keys all in the final act, so that will be fun. Turn 1, getting our Noxious Fumes out, feels good. Another Entropic Brew! Haha! Not bad, not bad. Okay. Ooh, you know what? I could just play this right here. This just helps us block more. Plated Armor is like Metallicize, which we saw earlier, except when you take attack damage, it's reduced by 1 per hit that you take. Get the accuracy done, get this out, get another potion. Okay. Artifact prevents a number of incoming debuffs equal to its stack. So we get 1, we prevent the next debuff we get. This guy does debuff us. And with 2 Entropic Brews, we kind of lose value on the first one we play since we only get 2 of them. I'll take the other Plated Armor. And then we might as well play this other one because I'm not getting rid of Fairy in a bottle. And then we got another Entropic Brew, huh? That's funny to me. Thank you, video game. And with that extra plated armor, we full block. So we don't even lose a stack. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, let's Piercing Wail. Please deal less damage. Play our other Noxious Fumes. Get this guy out of here. Block what I can. Play this Skill Potion. Next turn, your attacks deal double damage. We could see Blade Dance next turn, which makes this hilarious. I will do this, actually. Phantasmal. That effect is just next turn, you're dealing double damage. We'll hang on to that one for now. I thought about it. But, you know, we might proc Fairy in a bottle. Oh, I should mention, Fairy in a bottle, if you would die, you heal. 30% of your max HP instead. I think we saw that happen in the previous episode, if I recall correctly. Oh, okay, here, we can get some good Corpse Explosion value. Dealing double damage, we can just Explodify that guy. Big damage on this turn. Very cool. One of these will get negated by the artifact, and we'll get the other two. Okay, we block less and take more. That's pleasant. I said, facetiously. Let's see if this gives us anything. Okay. They're not defensive options, which is what I was hoping for. It's fine, I mean, we don't die, but still a big hit. Deal damage. Deal damage. Apply a further weak. We're getting there. He's got a pretty good chunk of, if I would have drawn you next turn, oh well. He's got a good chunk of poison on him, and actually, wait a minute. Oh, okay, there we go, we win this turn. So that's Act 2. Alright, we're already doing better than the prior episode. Feels good. I like the Silent a lot. Attack Potion is like a skill potion, but it gives us attack instead. I'm going to keep these. These are nice. Oh, I should mention. Cultist Potion, gain 1 ritual. Ritual, gain strength at the end of your turn, equal to the ritual you have. That's for the whole fight. Fire Potion is just flat out, you deal 20 damage to a target. It's nice. Envenom did do pretty good that combat we had it. I'll click on it. Sure. Upgrading it reduces its cost to 1. Okay, so we have Busted Crown, Runic Pyramid, and Sacred Bark. Woof. Busted Crown gives us energy, but the card rewards are 2 less than normal, so we only have 1 to choose from at the end of a fight. Runic Pyramid, at the end of your turn, you no longer discard the cards in your hand, which means they stay there until you play them. And the max hand size is 10 off the top of my head, if I'm remembering right. Sacred Bark, excuse me. Sacred Bark doubles the effectiveness of potions. We do have Alchemize. And I will click on Sacred Bark. Woof. Okay. How many times in the next couple minutes am I going to make that joke in a row? I mean, I am pretty proud of myself for it. It's comedy gold right there. Okay. For those not in the know, this is Time Eater. That's one of the Act 3 bosses. I'm glad we're kind of shifting more towards poison and away from shivs, because this guy has a mechanic where you can only play so many cards, and then he ends your turn and gets a buff. I'll go into more detail if we actually reach him, but yeah, playing Shivs against this guy kind of sucks. So I will be happy to take whatever poison options are shown to us from now on. Alright. We still need our other 2 keys as well. Gotta keep that in mind. Okay. It's looking like we're definitely fighting some elites this round. I think we'll start over here. These guys have lifelink. If you don't kill them all at once, they come back the turn after, or like a couple, like 2 turns after you kill them. So they need to all be dead at once. A good fight for corpse explosion. Oh man, we have full potion slots and we're sitting on both of our alchemizers here. I mean, these are good potions. And they're really good with Sacred Bark. Woof. You can keep track of how many times I do that. Oh man. I mean, if these were 0, if we had these upgraded and they didn't cost energy, I'd be a little more willing to just blow these and then use them and get 2 more for free. But as it is, I am going to block. And I will Blade Dance. We are going to spread these out, get damage across the board because of their lifelink mechanic here. Man, I do not want to think about the file size of this recording once we're done. We're up to almost an hour and a half looking at it. I mean, I got the hard drive space. That's not like a worry, but man, this thing's gonna take a while to upload, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna take more damage here than I would like to, but them's the breaks, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay. We win the fight this turn, and I'll tell you why. Corpse Explosion, double Fire Potion for 40, and that corpse explodes, dealing 55 to the others. And that's why Corpse Explosion is really nice. Ancient Potion? Sure. I don't need another slice. I don't need any of these. We got 27 cards in deck. I want to be able to draw our poison cards sooner than we have been. So I know this says negative effect and attack. This guy, he gives us burn statuses, which Artifact does not help with. So unfortunately, there won't be much we can do about that. This Envenom pick feels bad when it costs 2, doesn't it? Okay, I think I'll just block that and then deal 11. It's fine. It'll be fine. Oh, and this guy gains 3 strength every round. Okay, sorry for the silence there. I had to figure something out with my microphone for a minute. Sure, we'll get these worked out as we go along here. Not too worried. And we'll cloak and dagger. Okay. We have yet to play our accuracy. But that's just a lot of shivs anyway. Oh yeah, okay. Done, dusted, easy. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but like our deck is already getting kind of big. And against High Meter, we're really not going to want to be playing the shivs this gives us. So like it's fine until Time Meter, and then Time Meter it's going to be really bad. This is fine in the early game, but I think we're good. I think we just skip here. Oh, okay. Gosh, do I want to lose 9 max HP for this? I would like the heal, but man. I should mention, healing from the fires is percent health based. It's a percent of your max health. So we get less healing from rest sites further in if we reduce our max health. Uncertain. I think we leave. We might see a better option. Okay, this allows us to remove one of these cards. Given these choices, I suppose either the defend plus or the slice plus. We have other ways of blocking. Okay, so there is something worth mentioning here. Caltrops. The thorns it gives us. Whenever you're attacked, deal 3 damage back. The final boss to this game. For those of you who haven't played, I might have mentioned it in the previous episode, but just try to forget about that. For those of you who haven't played, I'm going to try not to spoil it too badly. So it'll be fun if we get to see it in one of these episodes here. But I will mention Caltrops is really good in that fight, because what that enemy likes to do is multi-hit. It likes to do a large number of individual attacks that add up to a lot of damage, but it's a lot of separate hits, which makes this really valuable. If we get like a couple of these and they're upgraded to 5 instead of 3, it could potentially deal a lot of damage to this thing. So I really like to see Caltrops, but our deck is really big right now, and I don't know if we can support this. We're already kind of struggling to draw into the cards that we need to draw into. So I think we just pay for removal here. Get rid of our unupgraded strike, and we move on. I feel that is for the best. Okay, we'll heal up here. in preparation for this elite. Notice something? We got both of our Noxious Fumes turn 1. Very nice. And I'll just hit him. This guy gains Intangible every other turn. So he's only going to take 1 damage no matter what we do to him this turn. And then next turn we can hit him again. Oh boy. Distilled Chaos, play the top 6 cards of your draw pile. Let's do it. This could be pretty good. Accuracy out of the way, strike, Bane. Okay, it's playing damage when, oh my gosh, the boot! The boot! That's really good value. I didn't even know the boot interacted with Intangible that way. That's nice. Okay. We might as well play these. Not a bad turn. And then on the turn where he's not intangible anymore, we draw a little damage. Strength potion. Not this fight. Strength with the ritual too, though, might be fun in an upcoming fight here. Yeah, I had no idea the boot interacted with Intangible like that. That is very cool. Okay, we take 1? Yeah. Okay. Block. 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 I can feel it. I'm getting to a point where I am sort of running out of like matters to discuss with you here at this point. When we're sort of just waiting for animations here and I'm thinking about these turns. Oh, we win. Okay. Here's an example though. Survivor, get rid of a burn. Nice. Burns still go before the poison kills the enemy, so it's important to block those. Ceramic Fish, whenever you add a card to your deck, gain gold. We will not be adding cards to our deck if we can avoid it. But yeah, this, I feel like learning how to kind of make a series like this is going to involve a test of my ability to banter. And as it stands, let's see, upon pickup, upgrade 2 random skills. We really want the key. I'm going to take the key. Yeah. I'm at a point where I'm starting to grasp at straws somewhat of things to kind of just sit here and talk to you about while we continue our play of the game here. So we'll see how I do as we go along here. I am interested in seeing how I might improve as at making these videos over time. God, we are gonna take so much damage from this. Oh man. Ouch. Thank goodness we have the fairy in a bottle. I think we're about to use. Oh, no, not quite. We're really close to using it here, though. Oh man. Okay. boy, jeez, okay. Do that. I'll use this just to see if this gives us a defensive option. This could give us a defensive option because we had the thing Sacred Bark. It gave us 2 copies of that. Okay, defensive options. Very good. Catalyst will save. It's a good pickup. Fairy in a bottle, used. Save that for later. The piercing whale, not attacking. No need to play it. Okay. We don't have a safety net anymore. I feel fear. I do. I'm afraid. This is another one of those fights that has historically given me a lot of trouble. Although I'm sure I'm not the only one. Okay, we're gonna get some good damage in right here. That'll do it, actually. Okay. Alright. Poison should take care of that. Okay. We're, we're still in it. I'll take Bane. Good upfront damage with our poison build here. We're still in it. Bouncing Flask is good. But we already have so many cards. I'll take it anyway. We will go to the right here. These rooms might be very nice to us, and we get to see another fire. We need this key. This is one of the last opportunities we'll have to get it. Hopefully we'll get some HP out of these events if they're nice to us. We can get a curse to heal some. Oh my gosh, I might do this actually. No, I mean there's no way that's worth it, right? Do I take a curse for the HP? That's so bad. I don't think I have much of a choice here. Oh, here, in case you wanted to read this. Here it is for a moment. I guess I should be a little more mindful of that for people who are not familiar. This guy. You may notice he has a very large health pool. But he also dies in 5 turns on his own. So it's basically just we have to survive. He does a ton of damage, but he has this thing where when he loses HP, he loses that much strength for that turn. So we basically have to either damage rush him or just have a ton of block on our own. I find myself struggling with fights with this fight as poison builds generally. Although I don't know if that's through any fault of the poison. That's just been my struggle historically. Good old Snecko oil. Draw 10 cards. Thank you, Sacred Bark. Alright, give me something good. Give me something good. Okay. With minimal damage to the cards in our hand. Some of them got up-costed, but, you know. Okay. And yeah, that right there will show how that works. Him taking damage makes him deal less damage. And that's basically going to be this whole thing until he goes away in another 4 turns. reduces strength. Block some and reduces strength further. Defend, and we plated armor the rest of this. Okay. All right. No damage so far. Actually, wait, did we take damage on the previous turn? I don't remember what our health was. Oh well. We'll see if any of these colorless potions help us. Jack of all trades. Could even... Oh, right. Okay. Alright. Oh, I didn't showcase what those cards did. Enlightenment reduces the card's cost in your hand to 1, which is nice if we had 1 energy, which we didn't. The other one shuffles your discard into your hand, into your draw pile, and then you draw 1 card, which, again, didn't have any energy. Not very helpful. That looks like all we can do for this turn. Oh right, the poison. Skip that, I think. Okay. I really want the HP. I would upgrade like the Alchemize or the Envenom or the Bouncing Flask or something. But Time Meter is spooky. Me scared, me take hit points, me hopefully not die. Alright. Oh, we're here. I can explain Time Warp. Whenever you play 12 cards, your turn immediately ends, and this guy gets 2 strength. Just permanently for the rest of the fight. So, you have to be very careful about when you proc this, because it's inevitable. This will happen a couple times. So the less cards we can play and still get value out of, the better. Thinking here. I think we just block here. And you can see Time Warp start to go up here. And you can imagine how poorly that might go for a Shiv build. Alright. Get our Noxious Fumes going. Feel good about that. And I think that's all we can manage for this turn, which is fine. Take a bit here. Get our other Noxious Fumes going. Very cool. Get some damage out. 9, so 3 cards next turn. 10, 11, 12, and our turn ends and he gets damage. So, I will do this. I will do this. And I will block. Just to take a little bit less damage from this attack. And we draw 1 less next turn. Oh man, Blade Dance got a lot worse for us in this fight. Okay, I'm happy to see a block potion out of that. Sacred Bark makes this 24. Woof. Okay. And we'll hit him. I'm not going to bother with Blade Dance. This episode is approaching 2 hours long. Oh man. Am I going to have to like cut this up into segments? How am I going to do that? I'll be honest with you. I don't know how to edit videos. What's here is basically here. Am I going to upload a 2-hour video? No way, right? Maybe. I mean, you tell me, I guess. By the time someone other than me is going to be hearing this, you will know. Okay. I'll figure it out. I'll figure something out, I'm sure. God, we're going to take so much damage from this guy. Oh, I just remembered, too. This is something that he's going to do in a couple turns from now that I forgot about. You'll see it coming up, but I'll still explain it. He is eventually going to heal himself for a bunch and cleanse all of his debuffs, which includes our poison. And he's going to call us foolish when he does. And I'm going to be sad. So all this poison we have built up on him is going to go away. Although it looks like we're going to be going away before that happens. This might be it. This episode might not reach 2 hours. I gotta tell you. Yeah. Looks like it. Well, I think that went well. We got all our keys. I got all the way to the Act 3 boss, if I didn't beat it. And I think that was an okay run. There was definitely things we could have done differently. I kind of like was on this fence of like, oh, do I Shiv or do I poison, you know? And we really weren't shown a lot of poison early, but I wanted to save this cultist potion for one of the Act 4 fights. But I'm wondering how this fight might have gone different if I played this. It's 2 strength every turn. We were doing most of our damage through poison, but I mean some of those banes would have been huge, potentially. Uncertain. Anyway, I will thank you for watching. I really don't know if this is going to go up as a 2-hour video, or if I'm going to try to figure out how to cut this up into parts. Honestly, if I had to guess, if I know me, I'm probably just going to upload a 2-hour video and then just hope that's fine. In the future, I'll definitely want to figure out how to cut up videos into parts, how to edit videos. But I'm not too worried about doing that just yet. You know, I'm still getting my feet wet over here, guys. I gotta tell you, you know. Anyway, I think I'll wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. I've been Ceol, and this was Slay the Spire.